Hey guys, what's up? Are you frustrated because you're on a GLP-1 like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound, and the scale is not moving? Either you're on it and it just is not going down, or maybe you were on it, started to go down, and you've hit a stall or a plateau and you're just stuck and you can't get that scale to go down. It is incredibly frustrating, right? Well, today we are going to talk about the top 10 reasons why this can happen. These are the most common reasons, and most importantly, what you can do about it, how to overcome that. And I get it. In my own experience of losing 50 pounds, it can be frustrating. I have encountered stalls, plateaus. I've had to tweak things, change things as I went along to get the scale to move, to get the body to accept that body fat loss. So I'm going to pass along some of the things that worked best for me along the road, and hopefully it will also help you. But before we dive in, leave a comment. What has worked for you? What are some tips that you've used that could help other people to get out of their stall or plateau? We would love to hear from you guys as well. All right, number one. The first thing is dosage. So you may be at a low dose right now and you might need to titrate up. That is probably one of the most common reasons out there. Your body's adjusted to it and now it's time to move that dosage up. That happened to me many times where it was successful on a certain dosage and then it just stopped and I knew it was time to move up. How did I know it was time? I got no negative symptoms. I was totally fine, and I was doing all the right things. It just wasn't working anymore. Once I moved up, it started to work. The other area that you could look into is where your injection site is. Now, for some people, it won't matter, but for other people, there's been amazing feedback on changing your injection site. So if you're always injecting in your thigh, try your stomach, try your arm. I personally tried everything: thighs, arms, stomach. For me personally, the stomach was the only area that I really felt the difference. When I injected into my arm or my thigh, it literally felt like I didn't do anything. I just didn't really feel the effect. So I pretty much have stuck to my stomach for the entire journey and just different areas on the stomach and whatnot. So that's what worked for me. But other people have reported that it was such a game changer when they tried their arm out or their thigh. So consider doing that as well. Something else is if you have been on one medication, for example, like Ozempic, and it stopped working and you've reached your highest dosage, consider moving to Zepbound or Mounjaro. Because that is a dual agonist, it's got two ingredients in it, it could help to jumpstart you back into your weight loss. That happened to me. I was on Ozempic, Wegovy, maxed out, stalled out for 4 months, finally switched over, and that really got me going again. So that is another tactic that you can use. Number two, you're not tracking your food accurately. So if you're not tracking at all, or you're sort of tracking and not really, well, maybe now's the time to download a free app, put in all your food, start tracking, weighing, and measuring everything. Do you have to do this the rest of your life? No, you do not have to do it the rest of your life, but do it for a time so that you know exactly what you're taking in. Because if you don't know, there's no data for you to go back to adjust it. And if you're not losing, then it only makes sense to go back and see what you're doing. It's kind of like your bank account. If you're losing money or you're spending too much and you just don't even know how much is coming in, well, you might want to go back to your bank account and kind of look through everything, know what your balance is so that you're not spending more than you're making. And it's the same thing for calories. So look at it as a data point. I know some people get totally stressed out over tracking everything. There's really no need to. We mostly eat, the same foods all the time. You're not eating something different all the time, which would be sort of a pain to put in there. You're eating very common foods that you could just kind of copy and paste, rinse, repeat. Then you get to know your portions. You know if you're in a calorie deficit. You will know if you're hitting your protein target or if you're not. And then use it as a data point and make your adjustments. Number 3, you're in a deficit for too long. Now, what that can do, and I'm guilty of that, I've done it myself. You're just in a caloric deficit, you've been tracking, you know what you're taking in, and you've been doing it consistently, and you stall out and scale isn't moving. And maybe you're starting to even get a little hungry now, or you're feeling weak, or you're getting some side effects from not consuming enough calories. That may be time to now increase your calories, elevate your metabolism, reset it, get it burning a little higher. Do that for a little bit of time, and then once you drop your calories again, bam, you're gonna start that fat loss phase again. Because being in a caloric deficit for too long, your body will adjust. It's what it's supposed to do. It will adjust. So again, increase your calories a little bit for a period of time. It could be days, weeks, maybe even a month, maybe even 2 months. And then you drop the calories again. You can also increase your step count as another method of increasing calories, or do a combination of the both. Number 4, hormonal imbalance. If your hormones are too low, and that would be for ladies if you're in menopause or perimenopause. And look, perimenopause can hit you in your 30s. Certainly over 40, you could be having symptoms of that. I just did a video on that. That happened to me in my early 30s, which is somewhat unusual, but it happened. And if your hormones are imbalanced, that will inhibit your body fat loss. And for the guys, if you got really low testosterone, you might also want to get that checked out. So look into your thyroid, look into your hormone panel, go to somebody who knows what they're talking about, who knows what to look for, what symptoms to look for, and how you're feeling. Because once those get balanced out and your body is just back into homeostasis, then the body fat will start to come off again. Everything will start to work properly. Number 5, sleep. This is a huge one. If you are not getting consistent quality sleep, so you're not sleeping long enough, your sleep is too short, the quality is crap, that will absolutely get in the way of losing weight and seeing a result on the scale, because it increases insulin resistance, it dysregulates your appetite and satiety hormones. It is so important. So it is important to prioritize having a consistent sleep routine. Looking at your the TV, the lights that are out there, a bedtime, what time you're waking up in the morning, your sleep environment. It is hard to do it, but once you start slowly and you start getting used to it, you are going to start to feel so much better, and everything is going to fall into place. That alone could completely disrupt your weight loss journey. So sleep is that important. Number 6, stress. Chronic stress will elevate your cortisol levels. That's chronic cortisol. Sure, having high cortisol levels when you're working out and exercising, or something happens in life or whatever, that's normal. Your cortisol goes up and then it comes back down. But when you have chronic cortisol levels that are elevated from just a constant stress-induced environment, that also increases your insulin resistance, which will inhibit fat loss and actually could lead to fat gain. So it is also incredibly important to take steps in your life to try and mitigate your stress levels. That could be take 10 minutes out in your day, go for a walk, listen to a podcast that you enjoy, Do something that's for you, especially when life gets crazy with work demands and family and kids and your boss and all these things that are happening. You feel like you're getting pulled in 1,000 different directions. It is important to take some time to yourself. You owe it to you. You'll be a better person. And again, I can't emphasize it enough. Having elevated stress levels can absolutely get in the way of your weight loss journey. So take the time for yourself to really implement little tiny strategies along your day that will help you out to bring those stress levels down. Number 7, a lack of activity. Yep, if you're sitting too much, and many people are guilty of it, I was at one point as well. You're just sitting there for 8 hours behind your desk, working away. It's not so healthy. I mean, they say that sitting is like the new smoking. So activity, lift weights and get those steps in. It's so important. The more muscle you have, the higher your metabolism, the healthier you're gonna be. You're going to lose more body fat. Get those steps in as well. It's really good for your mental health, and it does burn calories, and it just makes everything work better. So make sure that you get your steps in morning, afternoon, night, even if it's 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, it all adds up. And in fact, getting in 3 sessions of 10 minutes is actually better for you than just doing one time at 30 minutes. So make sure you are lifting your weights and getting your activity levels in. Number 8, other medications. If you're on other medications, those could be inhibiting your weight loss journey. They could be decreasing your metabolism, dysregulating your appetite and satiety hormones. So if you're on other medications, you may want to talk to your healthcare practitioner about that to see if there is any sort of contraindication in terms of your weight loss. So make sure that that is covered in your discussions with your doctor. Number 9 is time. What do I mean by time? Time means it is going to take some time. You didn't put the weight on in a day or two. Give yourself some time. Give yourself some space to get used to the medication, to get used to creating new habits, a new lifestyle. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself some space, because for some people, yeah, it works really quick. For some people, you could take a GLP and hours later, you might start to feel the effect, or a day later. But for other people, it can take time. It can take a month. It could take even 2 months, because we're all different. We all have different starting points. We all have been, dysregulated for X period of time. Some people it's been decades. Other people it's been a really short period of time. So it takes their bodies a little bit shorter time to get used to everything. Even changing your habits, that is probably one of the hardest things to do. It's also one of the benefits of a GLP-1. It'll help you to change your habits and help you to stick to them, but it's not easy. But you can do it. But just give yourself a little bit more time, and don't compare your journey to anyone else's. We all do it because we all want to know, am I doing well? Can I be doing better? This person lost more than me. Could I be losing more? But when you start doing that, there's always going to be someone that's ahead of you, and there's always going to be someone that's behind you. So just focus on you, your habits, your lifestyle changes, and all the things that you need to do to get healthier and to feel healthier. It'll fall into place, and your weight loss journey will continue, and you will get there. Number 10. And this one I think is really, really important, and it's helped me out so much. And that is your mindset. And I know some of you might be like, whatever, but no, it's really important. And I've used this, and I'll give you an example of what I did. So you need to be able to visualize the new you. What do you look like at the end of the journey? What do you feel like? How do you feel in your body? And you need to picture that in your mind. And you could also use a vision board to do that as well. And as an example, what I did was I went out to the internet and I found women's bodies that I wanted to look like. One of them was Sarah Connor from the Terminator. That to me at the time was so far out of my reach when I started on my journey, but it was my vision. That's what I wanted. I love the Terminator. I loved when she was in the prison doing all the pull-ups, and she looks so lean and fit. And I downloaded that picture. I also downloaded some other pictures, and I used that as my vision that I wanted to look like. So it works, it helps. And you can also download pictures and like cut a picture of your head and put it on another picture and keep that really visible. Keep that as a reminder. That's your goal, that you want to look like that person, because believing it is half the battle. If you don't believe in yourself, yeah, you're not going to get there. So start believing in yourself, because if you don't do it and you don't believe in yourself, who cares what other people think? You are the one that is in control of your journey. You absolutely can do this, and make sure that you have a supportive community around you that will rally you on, especially when you're hitting those points where it gets hard and frustrating. You want to be in a place where your family, your spouse, your friends, your community is there to help pick you up. Which leads me to, I do have a Facebook group that you can sign up. It is private. We are there to support. So if you're in need of more support, consider going over to Facebook and getting onto that group. We're there to help you. And again, if you're feeling down, it's a place where you can come to ask questions or share your experience and help other people. So that's it. Those are the top 10 tips. I really, really hope that you found those helpful. I have used all of them in my journey. And if you are considering going on a GLP-1 now or are on it currently, I am obviously a huge advocate. I'm still on it. It is life-changing, completely life-changing. So definitely consider giving the video a thumbs up, sharing in the comments below. Share the video with friends or family that might need this information. The more we share, the more we get the word out, the better that we are all going to be. And I'm here to help. So I really believe in you. Stay strong.